Assalamu alaikum viewers, I am Farrukh Nadeem with a new tutorial. Today's tutorial is in response to requests from several of our colleagues who have asked to be taught how to make a tabletop. I am placing the tabletop here in front of you. If you look at it in this form, this is basically a tabletop. If we consider the top of the table, then on the outside side it has a Versace design, and on the inside side this design is made in the form of an arc, and the circle inside it is also similar. So today we will learn how to design this pattern, how this pattern is designed, and after that we will also learn to use the V-shape tool in it. So let's begin. We will go to Aspire, and in Aspire we will create a new file. I am generating a file with the dimensions of 36 inches by 36 inches and a thickness of 0.75. Right now we will be working on a completely rectangular shape design. After this, it will be easier for you to understand how to create it in a rectangular form. First of all, for the margins on the sides, I am drawing a rectangle. I have drawn a rectangle measuring 35 inches by 35 inches. If you want to leave a little more area as per your preference, you can also use 36 by 36 inches. So I will operate on these sides according to how much of the Versace design I want to add here. To add the Versace design, I will then create an offset of this line. I need a gap of 2.25 inches here for the Versace design. So I have left this gap for Versace, and here I will import the Versace design. You might remember that last time when we created the Versace design, I saved one of its segments here in DXF format. So as soon as the Versace design file appeared in front of me, I resized it here. Coming into scale, I'll set its height here to 2.25. So it will be adjusted to our required size. Let's zoom in on it here. After zooming in, I move it to this spot. So as you can see, it's zoomed in and easily aligned with it, and its space is now set. Now, after it automatically joins at the joint, the border will be created around it, and a second border will be created here. So here, when we brought the Versace design, the segment we created, for icons it arrived here. I grouped it. After grouping, you bring it onto the pattern. When I copied it onto the pattern, you can see that its size is 2 inches on one side, and on the other side there are two functions needed. So a very good way would be to take the dimension from here. If you take the dimension from this edge to that edge, you get a size of 34 inches. So if this is 34 inches, let's turn on the calculator here. Look, 34 divided by 2, so how many will there be in total? 17 designs will fit inside it. So select this object, go to the copy area. I only want to make one row, and for columns I'll set it to 17. Keep the gap at 0 and create the group. Now look here, the object has been created. All right, I made some extra ones. Now I'm about to tell you something very important. Go to mirror and select bottom mirror and bring it down here to the bottom. Yes, viewers, as soon as we mirrored it and brought it down, you can also use the align command if you want, but I'm grabbing its corner and placing it on the corner here. In the same way, here as well, I grabbed the corner of this object and placed it on its corner, and see, automatically, because our size is set, everything has aligned automatically. Here I copied it, pasted it again, and then rotated it here to 90 degrees. As soon as I rotated it to 90 degrees, you can see the design has appeared on both sides in front of you. And here, last time I told you that you simply have to draw a line in the middle, and on its behalf, look here, we will trim it from here to here. Now I'm going to leave a little extra and trim it here. Or the other way to draw this is, while holding control, I drew a rectangle. After drawing the rectangle, you have to come to a node, select N for node, and delete the point. As soon as we delete the point, it will automatically create this object. You can move this object from here, or rather pick up this object from here and bring it to the middle of this, to any one edge, so that we get this gap for cutting on both sides. So first I select this object along with it, and then we trim it from here. Look, I will do it from the inside, and we need to clear the outside. We have to clear the inside of this object. Okay, the inside is cleared. Now look at this object here. The one we placed, we need to use this object from the other side. The best solution for this is to create both sides of this object, one from this side and one from that side. For that, you give it a line against this line, you mirror it. First select the object, then set this line, and in mirror you flip about the line. So look, I am doing both objects here for next time. So the very first thing you need to do is, after making one side, make sure to group it. I mentioned this in the last assignment as well. You must group this, it's essential. Now let's move on to the next object. I need to trim this edge with respect to that edge. I trimmed it, and after completing these, look here, if I cut this here, you can see the same line underneath that we used as a border. All right. So now it's very easy for us. Let's check which layer is layer 1. The layer that's on top here is named design because when we imported it, we got a layer called design. Now, which are these two layers? When I come here and turn off layer 1, both of these layers below are turned off. If you want to delete them, you can simply select and delete them, but there's no need. Here I turn off the design layer, so the layer below is turned off as well. This way you won't face any problems in programming. But when we need to create offsets here, then we'll need this layer. For example, here I turned off the design layer and turned on layer 1. And I need a border 1/2 inch inside from here for further designing. So here with 0.25, with 0.5 I offset it to the inside. As soon as I offset it from here, since the current layer was red, it immediately activated the current layer. Now, the benefit of this is that if I turn off both of these lower layers and also turn off the design layer, the 1/2 inch inside offset we made has automatically gone to that layer because our current layer is the design layer. Viewers, after this, we have to work on the circular pattern inside it. To work on that, I want to give you a very easy technique. So please pay attention. Right now, this Versace border we made, I turn off this Versace border, turn on layer 1, double click it to make it the current layer. And since I kept this layer for temporary working, I'll also make an offset on this layer, 1/2 inch to the inside, and close it. Now, the understanding you need here is that you have to draw a line from here to here. On our end border, you have to draw a line from here to here, and with the circle command, you have to drag a circle from the midpoint of this line to the end here. Let me explain again. Draw a line from here to here, that is from 1/2 to the end, and a circle that will be at the midpoint of this line, drag it to the end. After that, remove this line, we don't need it. Draw a line from here to here, and you'll mirror this object along this line. Now, after this, you have to make a circle inside according to your requirement from a design point of view. Suppose you want to place a circle from here up to this line, that's very good. See here, you get this cross section, place a circle here, and trim the remaining lines from here. I don't need this line either, so I trimmed it. Go to trim. I also need trimming on the inside this line, this one. I'm trimming all of these. The easy way is to trim these two and remove this object from here as well. Remove this object too. After removing these, now for the two lines or curves you've made, when you want to cut them, you'll need a little flat section here. For that flat section, you need a slight offset. I'll set it to 0.125 on the bound side. So you can see here that the central line will remain inside, and it's given a 0.125 offset on the bound, side 0.125 on one side, 0.125 on the other. So in this way we have this space. Now look at the symmetry of the design. I turn this on here. From here, this is also 0.125. 0.25, and from here to here is also 0.25 because 0.125 on one side, 0.125 on the other, making a total of 0.25. So this is the beauty of the design. This is the space we are getting here as well. I'm leaving the same space here too. So this is something you need to keep in mind. It's a method of geometry. Coming back, I turn off the design layer from here. After turning off the design layer, now the inside line, I'll keep it in layer 1 or move it to another layer. Let's move it to layer 0. See, now select these two outer segments or lines and go to circular array. In circular array, the first thing you need to do is set its pivot point or rotation center to 0. And here, set the number of segments you want to rotate it into. Now I want to set it to 36. And keep in mind, when you set the number of items here, it should be divisible by 4. Here, you set the number of items to 36, and it's better to group copy and copy it. As soon as you copy it, see, the design will be created like this, and the double line is being made exactly as needed, and the circle in the middle is completely separate. You can easily work on it however you want, and different segments have been created. If you want to make even more, undo it. After undoing, I select these two objects again. After selecting, where we had 36, I'll set it to 48. After 48, make sure to adjust the rotation center so that it's exactly in the center. Look at this. Now see, it's become much better than before because the gap between them has decreased. Here, definitely a narrow size will come, but now we can improve it with the help of design. The position of the outer design has turned out well, so I'll close it here. After closing it, look here at this line. For now, I will turn off this 0 layer here. So that line will also disappear. So this segment that we have here, this is basically the one for which the circular pattern was made. After selecting this object, you need to select this edge from here and trim it. You have to do this on the inside as well and remove the outside. So as you can see, I did this and all the extra lines have been removed from here. Now, take a look at these options and carefully decide just how much area you want to use for your work. See, you can actually use it all the way up to here if you want. Look right in the middle here, because what we really need to do is trim all these edges so that they align with each other. Before we start trimming, let me make things even easier for you. For example, you can take a segment from here, and then after that, simply go to the shape tool and delete this object. So now, you'll be left with just this one segment from here. All these objects that you've created, see, I selected all of them here. After selecting, I also subtracted these two objects from the selection, and then I subtracted this rectangle from here as well. After subtracting this rectangle, finally, I selected this object, and using the trim command, I also need to take from these sides and remove from the outside. At this point, you might be thinking, after putting in so much effort, we only needed this much of a segment. We didn't need it at all, because this is exactly what we can set ourselves. Instead of working on the whole thing, you're just focusing on a small part. Now, what do you need to do? You have trimmed those objects, and if you notice anything left, when we array or mirror it, it will be applied to everything. Now, please pay very close and careful attention to what is being presented. And check if anything is left anywhere, because when we array or mirror it, it will be applied to everything. So carefully check now if anything is missing anywhere so that nothing is left that might cause us problems later. Now, the circle we placed here, I'll make it a bit bigger. You can also do this using the offset tool. In this, I will offset this object outward by 0.25. So you can see it will connect with them up to here. I will trim the extra part from here. So I have trimmed this, and also on its side. Now we don't have any object that is connecting with this. So you can manually select and remove them from here. There's no need to trim. See, I selected one and removed it. Now we have one line left. Whether you keep this line or not, we can work on it later as well. If I remove these lines from here, you'll see the edges are open. If I remove this line, the edges here are also open. So these open edges at the top must be trimmed. See, it's very important to trim them now because we need to close this here. So the very first step is to select this entire object, use the mirror command and mirror copy it to the right. After mirroring to the right, select everything here and use the join command with a tolerance to join them together. Now see, all the objects on the inside have been joined together. Now let's also trim the top side so that this box is completed. I'm using the trim command here, see. This is a free area. We need to cut in this area. This is where the cutting will happen and this free area will remain. So zoom in and take a look at this. This is the free area. This is the free area. Now you just don't need to use the tool. Here keep removing this area from it, meaning the 0.25 area will keep getting removed from it. So in this way, one side of ours is completed. See, all the objects have now been joined together. So I selected one segment and brought it into the circular array. And here you will make a total of 4 segments of it. Set the rotation center, which is the X center, to 0. After setting it to 0, set the rotation to 360 degrees and make 4 items by copying. See, this object is now created here, save it as well. Up to this point, the object has been made. Now, on the inside of this, you can easily add any design you want. Okay, once you ungroup this, be sure to apply the downed command so that everything we've joined together also merges properly. All these segments have now been joined at the corners. The most important thing to note here is that the cutter has to work within these rectangles, so we need to know the size of these rectangles. If I measure its dimensions, from here to here, the size we get is 0.09, which is very small. A design can't be made in this and the cutter won't work. So if you want to delete them from here, that is these last rectangles, you should delete them, or it's even better to delete them before applying the pattern. So here I'm taking a circle and by dragging from this center point, I'm placing a circle here. Set the diameter of the circle to 0.25 and now this position is set. If you want to change it a little, or there's another way to do it, I'll delete this circle from here. Take the circle command and draw a circle from this point to this point. Then here to this point, you need to use the offset command with the value of 0.25 on the inside, and this will maintain a gap for you. Now, whatever design you want to put inside this circle, you can easily add it. So here, look, all the designing I did up to here, I took from this object. And the first thing is, apart from this circle, I'll group these objects together and then move them here into the design. Now, where did it go? Because I had the design turned off. So look, your object is now complete in the design. Now, this rectangle here will be removed. See, the border will automatically appear. The rectangle is removed. After that, whatever further design you want to add, it's up to you. It depends on what kind of design you want to make. So for that, first of all, inside here, we'll give an offset of 0.25, meaning this gap is coming. And after the gap, we'll give a groove of 0.25 here. I took the offset for this object and made a groove by offsetting it inside. See, the groove is made here. After that, we'll give another 0.25 offset for spacing, and then we'll continue working on it. I selected this object and gave it this space. Now, these two objects are our final ones. So move them to the design layer. See, they've been moved to the design layer and have become part of the design. Now, here in the middle there's a gap, and after that I'm giving it an offset of 0.5. Now I'm making a design in the same way. You can make it however you like. Up to here, I'll draw a line. And then I'll mirror this line from here. It's mirrored. Besides that, I'll trim all the lines that go with it. This one, and I trimmed these two. Now we have the object. Bring this object into a circular array here. Enter the value 0 here. I am using 24 segments for this. So look, when you use 24 segments, there will be this space in the middle. And a groove will be created there. After that, you can keep making whatever design you want inside, and it will be easy to do. So basically, this was one method for designing it. In the same way, I'll take another circle from here, like here. I took this circle, and while dragging it, I placed it here and then took an offset of 0.25 on the inside and deleted this reference from here. So now we have this circle here. I'm taking a line from here to here, and I'll mirror this line to this side, and after mirroring, I'll trim the extra lines. Here I'm also adding a small circle. I placed a 0.5 circle here. I'll trim it, trim here, add trim here, and add trim here. Do a circular array here for this as well, and I've applied 24 here too. Now this object will be part of the design, and here I'll open up the inner circle a bit because it's too close here. Here for the inside, I took a last circle of 0.42. So now our design is almost complete. Select the inner objects as well and move them from here. Move them to the design layer. So in this way, your design is complete. Now let's talk about its programming. Save it. After saving, we'll move on to its programming, which will now be done in two parts. So it's better to move them to separate distinct layers. See, I'm selecting all these objects and moving them new layer. I'm naming the new layer v-carve. And you can assign any color you want from here. I'll call this green. So now you have the v-carve layer set. After that, let's move on to the programming. In programming, the design we made outside had a gap of 0.25. That means just understand that its width is 2 sut, traditional unit. So it's better if we use a tool slightly smaller than 2 sut in width. For that, you need to use the pocket function here. As soon as I go to pocket, inside the pocket we have two tools running, but we need to use a 1 sut tool here. If you have a 1.5 sut tool, that will also work, or if you have a 4 mm or 5 mm tool, that would be even better. So I'll remove these tools from here and select a new tool. Now I can use the tool in millimeters here, in the end mill section. Turn off imperial, go to metric. In metric, in end mill, this one is 3. I'll copy this here and set it to 5. See, I'm using a 5 mm tool. Now look at this. These are its flutes, meaning the blades. How many cuts does it have? 2, 3, 4, whatever you're using, select that. As soon as you apply it, see here, it's off. So you need to create its settings. How many pass depths do you want? The standard pass depth is always half the diameter, meaning the depth the cutter will cut in one go. So I'll set it here to 5 steps, which is more, but since I'm using a carbide tool, I can set it higher here, and you can change this later as well. The step over is 2M here. It won't go above 40%, right? Meaning if I try to set it higher here, it will be incorrect. So the best setting is 40%, keep it at 40%. Now the spindle speeder machines in Pakistan are all manual, so everything gets adjusted manually. Just leave it as it is. The feed rate is 100 inches per minute, which is fine. The plunge rate is 30 inches per minute. So for now, Let's leave these as they are and apply the settings. Now we have the punch tool set up. I selected it and you can see here that the punch tool has been applied. Now go to the selector. In the selector, you only need to select the design layer. There will be both closed vectors and open vectors. For now, let's talk about closed vectors. Select the design layer, close it, and it will select all of them here. Calculate. Now, when you're doing the layout, it tells you that you're giving a cutoff of 1 inch here, while you set the sheet thickness to 0.5. So how much do we need here? We should keep it at 0.25, or rather set it to 1 sat. If you need to change it to 0.125, you can do that later as well. So I've set it to 0.125 and it automatically set the passes to 1. Do you want to keep it on the path or offset? Keep it on offset, it will be better that way. As soon as we go to the selector, we've already set the design and closed objects. Close it, calculate. Let's preview. I'll slow down the preview speed a bit. I'll make the tool path visible in the preview. So look at this tool. It's creatively viewing it in orbital mode. It's cut it very nicely. After this cutting, we'll exit. After exiting, the next step is to cut the inside design, and this cutting will basically be done with the V tool. Now, when I talk about the V tool, first come here. The V tool is also called an engraving tool or engraving tool path. Here in the selector, you can set the V bit in millimeters or inches. I'm setting a 25mm 90-degree V bit here. Understand this? I'm setting a 90-degree V bit. I'll use all the other settings as per the standard defaults. Select it. After selecting, go to the selector, turn off the design. Now you have a v-carve layer here. In the v-carve, you have 8, 5 and 9 closed objects available. Select them. In the selector, now it's set all the objects. The inside ones aren't being selected yet. Let's check those two. Ungroup them. Do the same for these, ungroup them, then go to the selector. Now, see, after ungrouping, all the objects are being selected here. Close it and calculate. Now here it's saying that some objects are overlapping with each other. So let's just continue like this for now. And after that, it gave another error. It's saying that the thickness of your material is 0.75, but the maximum tool depth is going up to 0.76. No problem, we'll just continue with it as it is for now. And let's look at its preview here. See the depth it mentioned to you. What was that? That depth basically is this one when we placed our tool here. Because the deep area is going too far down, the tool will end up cutting the bottom surface as well. That's why it suggested that you either change its position here, adjust its angle, or modify its depth. So what we do is go into v-carve. Here, I set the flat depth to 0.375, meaning it shouldn't go more than 3/8 down. It will create a flat area there. The program will become a bit longer, but look, I'll continue with it. Reset and preview all toolpaths. See, just look, it's created a flat area here. It's given a flat area inside, and this will look nice. It will look very beautiful. Look here, it's made a flat area here. If you set it to 0.25, its position will also turn out well. I'll reset and preview all again. So see, this is how this design will be made. So if you want that the bottom doesn't come out flat and the size we've set remains, then what would be the method for that? Then the method for that will be a little different. I'll leave this v-carve here as it is. I'll use a new v-bit tool, and while setting the tool, I'll check here. There's already a 60-degree v-bit installed. We need to increase its degree. Look, this is a 90-degree one, right? This is 90 degrees. This is the kind of angle, 90-degree angle. If I increase the degree, meaning if I set it to 100 or more than 100, then what happens in that case? People, I am still using a 25mm tool, and I'll make a copy of it. Look, here I have the option to copy. So I'll copy it and increase its angle. I'll set it to 120 degrees. At 120 degrees, it will have 2 flutes that will be cutting, and its diameter will remain 25mm. I've applied this setting. As soon as I apply it, it will go to the create setting and adjust its values accordingly. I haven't changed its standard values yet. As I told you before, you should practice with it as it is. I want to give you the proper calculation for this. Here it says that your pass depth is 12.5 millimeters. Adjust this, the pass depth is 12.5. I'll set it to 6 here. Apply it. After applying, you select it. After selecting, go to the selector. Here we are also using it and calculate. Look, it has done the calculation. Now I'll reset the preview and use only the visible toolpath. So now see, its angle has changed. And if I remove its flat depth and calculate again, then reset the preview and take the visible toolpath, you'll see that the error doesn't appear anymore because its depth has decreased. The greater the angle, the less the depth will be, and this will give the design corners. In the end, this is how I'll use this v-carve. So look, I'll leave this reset and use the visible toolpath, and this thing will be created. Now it's up to you, whichever design you like, you can use that design. Right now I can use this design and this one here, and I'll preview it. When I preview the visible toolpath here, look, this design is available to us. Save this design if you want. If you want to make some changes in the material, you can easily do that and see the result. If you want to change the color of the toolpath, you can do that from here as well. If you want to see it in gray, then look, here's light gray. You can set all the features, lightness and brightness here. So look at this design here. Now everything is absolutely clear and visible to you. I hope today's lecture will be beneficial for you, and hopefully you will benefit from it because it was quite useful. It took a little more time today. Apologies for that because it was a complete working session. We completed an entire project here. So remember me in your prayers. In the next lecture, we'll meet again with a new technique. God willing, Allah Hafiz.